Good morning.
How are you doing today, Nancy?
I am doing great. I like a 3-shot Nespresso coffee, and I'm cooking now, so we're good.
I got to tell
Hard
you.
out at 8, Oro.
Okay, man. I experienced Ordinary Angels, and I want listeners to understand one thing. Do not judge this title by its cover, because you're going to experience things that really bring so much emotion to the surface of your personal life.
I'm glad you said that. That is a great thing to say. I know it's easy to judge this movie and say, oh, this is going to be some treacly thing, but it is. I mean, inspiring isn't even the right word.
Right.
It's just a true story that's very simply told, that is very impactful, and I think it's a pretty special movie.
Well, what you do in this movie, you really give us that anchor, because she's the grandmother of a family that really should be broken. They should be going in every direction, but you keep them together. You showcase the support for your son in this movie, and of course those two little baby girls.
Yeah, well, thank you. I mean, I think to your point, it is a broken family. It's a single father whose wife passed away from the very same disease that his little girl is suffering from. And they are just your average family trying to make ends meet. The little girl needs a liver transplant, and the guy doesn't have insurance, and the bills are mounting, and her life is on the clock here, and they are just trying to keep their heads above water. And I play this father is played by Alan Richson, who is on Reacher. If any of your audience members watch that, but I play his mom, who's just trying to hold him together and get us through it. And in steps Hilary Swank's character, who's just a local hairdresser who's got her own demons that she's trying to keep at bay. And she sees the plight of this family and decides, I'm gonna step in. I can help them, and does. I wouldn't even say it's miraculous things. It's about determination. She pushes herself into the family, whether they like it or not, and helps them pay off this medical debt, and helps them with the care for this girl. And when the moment comes where this liver becomes available, she does everything in her power to get her where she needs to be to have this surgery. And amazingly, this liver is available during the biggest snowstorm in Louisville, Kentucky's history. So it is not just the testament of a woman making that happen, but an entire community coming out and literally digging out snow to get this family where they need to go. And I don't know, if you've lost your faith in human beings, this movie will certainly restore it. I mean, and if anything, it's kind of just don't hesitate to. It's not that hard to just turn around and offer some kindness or help, and be, if you're the person that needs it, open your heart to it and let somebody help you. It's kind of an amazing thing. It's really about how human beings are extraordinary.
The print that I got to see, basically, it begins with talking with the directors, and they talked with the actual physical minister that was at that church during that snowstorm. And I really want listeners, if they see the film and they don't get to see this where the directors are talking, they've got to look it up, because you will experience even something in that when you see how true this story is.
Yeah. I mean, the minister also was very instrumental in just putting out calls to the community, and in this moment of the clock is ticking, we have got to get this girl to this place or she loses her life. I mean, it really is a life or death. And the fact that people get up off their sofas and get out their doors and grab their shovels, and I mean, it's an extraordinary thing that happens, and we've seen it happen in communities all over the place. And this just shines a light on things how the miraculous can happen when people come together.
And the tears that I cried were not tears of pain. They were tears of, oh my God, this community is something that I want to be a part of. And I just could not keep the tears away.
Yeah, I know it is. It's true. And I mean, there is a shot of me actually crying. It's kind of like, thank you, people. Thank you, whatever forces there are that bring us together, because it makes a huge, huge difference. And even though it may not seem like much, you'd be surprised how kindness or a selfless act can really make a difference in someone's life. And this young girl who was, I think, my God, only like 7 at the time, made it and got that liver transplant and lived a life. I mean, it's kind of an extraordinary thing.
Wow. And one of the things that I love about this film is that don't go into this movie, Ordinary Angels, thinking that you're going to figure out what they're talking about. I think everybody featured in this movie is looked upon as being the ordinary angel.
Very much so. And I have to say, this story, I really give credit to the filmmakers and the actors in this for just telling the story and handing it to you, and you take away what you want. Yeah. It's not a manipulative movie, in my opinion. And it really just shines a light. I don't think this is an unusual thing, to tell you the truth. And I just think that we've gotten lost in shining a light on these kind of stories. I mean, the things that are part of our conversation are the horrible things that we do to each other and the state of the world. But I think this kind of stuff, the angel is in all of us, and we walk around, and it might even be a small thing, just even helping somebody cross the street. It happens all the time, and we just have to make ourselves available to it.
Wow. You've got to come back to this show anytime in the future. The door is always going to be open for you.
Well, thank you. And if I was in your neighborhood, I'd come over right now. So thank you for having me.
You be brilliant today, okay?
Thank you. You too. Thanks so much.